Alright, y'all, we back today with an Anthony Davis build. I haven't really made any big man builds, so I wanted to get one out of the way here with Anthony Davis. And of course, today we are going to be going for Lakers 2020 bubble Anthony Davis. That's the best version of Anthony Davis in my opinion, and he was just absolutely insane in the bubble with LeBron winning the championship on the 2020 Lakers. So starting here, we're going to make him a power forward, even though Anthony Davis kind of played center in that run, but they did have some other centers on the team that he would actually play with. So I'm going to put him at power forward. 6'11" is Anthony Davis's height that he says. He's listed at 6'10", but he said he is actually 6'11", and then he wants to be listed at 6'10", so he can actually play power forward because he wants to play power forward way more than center. Weight 254 is exactly accurate, and unfortunately we aren't able to get his wingspan. His wingspan is 7'6" in real life, but we're just going to do max wingspan on this 6'11" power forward build, so he can get 7'5" wingspan on the build. Now jumping into the attributes here, I'm going to go over every single attribute and explain exactly why I have it where it is. So looking at the attributes here on the team, I'm actually going to move my face cam over here. That's totally fine. We will start with the close shot. Starting out with the close shot on the build, we're going to go up to an 80 close shot, just a solid little attribute rating for a close shot on the build. I don't really value close shot this year, but you're going to want to have a decent one on this big man build, who's going to be a power forward / center. He's definitely going to be playing both positions, and he will be able to play them both super well. Now driving layup is pretty low. It's just a 56. I believe this is tied to driving dunk, and driving dunk at a 76 is totally fine. I do like having a 76 driving dunk. While 75 gets you bronze posterizer, just having a little bit more on the driving dunk will unlock future attributes for you, and you can definitely spend more cap breakers on this to increase it even more if you wanted to later in the build. So these are two tied attributes. They don't really matter on an Anthony Davis build who's not really going to be going downhill. You're not going to really be dribbling with this build unless you use a lot of cap breakers on ball handle and speed with ball, which is possible. I'm going to show you guys all the cap breakers going forward after this. So the driving dunk at 76 will get you the bronze posterizer badge, and standing dunk at 90 will get you gold rise up and gold aerial wizard. You'll also unlock both of the big man contact standing dunks. So if you look here in the animation glossary, you have to go to dunks and you have to scroll down to the very bottom, I believe. It's not going to be through alley-oops, actually. It's going to be contact dunks for big man. You need a 90 standing dunk and 70 vertical, height at least 6'10". This is perfect for the Anthony Davis build. Under the basket, you'll be finishing everything with your contact dunks, and then you'll also be able to get some very good NBA dunk packages. Like if you scroll over here, you can get Giannis on this build. You can also get Wembanyama, which is a nasty dunk package this year. You needed a 90 standing dunk and 75 driving dunk. It's not very easy to get. You actually can't even get it on a 7'4" this year, which is kind of insane. But Wembanyama, you are going to get that dunk package, and you're going to be flying around the court because he jumps from so far away. Now looking at the post control, 68 is just to make sure that you get some decent post badges. You can also spend some cap breakers on this if you wanted to be better in the post. Anthony Davis was never really a super prominent post-up player. He did some face-up mid-range shots and stuff like that. So you do get bronze post-fade phenom. You get silver hook specialist with this. Post-up poet as well on bronze, as well as post powerhouse. So if you get a smaller in the paint, you can definitely strength back him down. Use your post badges to make sure that you can get that very nicely. Now looking at the shooting, it isn't really stand out on the build. You have a 70 mid-range and a 78-3. 78-3 is just there so you can get the silver set shot specialist as well as unlock some decent shooting badges. Maximum you could possibly get on a build with this height and weight and wingspan is actually 80. So 78 is the only thing that's worth it in my opinion. You'll be able to spark when you're wide open. You won't really be able to shoot any other time contested or anything like that. But as an Anthony Davis build, the main thing you're going to be talking about is defense. So 79 free throws, obviously very solid. You're going to be able to shoot in 5s. Pass accuracy 76 gets you silver break starter, silver dimer, and silver versatile visionary. That's all you need, especially on a big man this year. I would recommend, if you don't have many attribute points to spare, just throw it up to 76. 76 is the sweet spot. Ball handle and speed with ball I didn't touch. They're just connected to other attributes on this build, and they are pretty easy to upgrade using cap breakers if you did want to do so. I will show you guys the exact cap breakers on this build after I finish explaining the entirety of the build. But looking at the defense, which actually is the main thing that matters on this build, you have an 84 interior defense. The reason it's at 84 is, as you can see down here at the bottom, it says gold paint patroller, but as you can see for the next upgrade, Hall of Fame paint patroller requires an 84 interior defense. Now I didn't want you to have to spend cap breakers on getting your interior defense up because it's such a cheap badge, or such a cheap attribute when you're actually making the build. Now block is way more expensive, so you're going to see here your block is at a 93. If you spend 4 cap breakers on block, you get up to 97 and you get the Hall of Fame paint patroller. Now looking at the 93 stock, you do get Hall of Fame high flying denier, which is an insane badge for getting blocks this year. It's because the vertical is upgraded as well as the block, so you're going to be very solid looking at flying around the court all the time with getting blocks and stuff like that. So Anthony Davis has always been a really good defender, and in this year's 2K, you can't really play hands up defense with interior defense because obviously Anthony Davis isn't in he obviously was an incredible shot blocker, but his main thing was being able to deter shots from the rim, which is more tied to interior defense. This year you do need to be able to block shots if you're going to play defense in the paint, so I would recommend having it at 84 93, using using 4 cap breakers on block. Those are the most important 4 cap breakers I would do on this build to get the Hall of Fame paint patroller. Now looking at the perimeter defense, 72 perimeter defense gets you bronze challenger, gets you silver movable enforcer, and silver off-ball pest, which isn't bad at all. I mean, silver off-ball pest is actually gotten by the interior defense, so it's up by there. But perimeter defense at 72, you're actually going to be able to get some contests on players, and Anthony Davis is known as one of the best all-around defenders in NBA history. So having this perimeter defense upgrade will allow you to contest some shots from outside, which is very, very nice. 60 steal. I mean, big men don't really need steal this year. You just have a bronze interceptor, which is definitely a badge that is necessary. If they throw it directly at you and you hit square at the right time, you'll grab the steal with the bronze interceptor badge. Now looking at the rebounding, it is important as well to have good rebounding on a big man like this. You're going to get gold rebounding badges with the 92 defensive rebound and an 80 offensive rebound. I did want to make sure, switch them around to get up to 92 offensive rebound. It's basically the same thing. You can save some attributes, but I do actually value having the defensive rebound up first because defensive rebound helps you close possessions, and it definitely does help the build more than offensive rebound in my opinion. So make sure you have the defensive rebound at a 92 for this build. Your defensive menace, you can get stops and stuff like that, as well as grab the rebound afterwards. Go to the vertical after speaking about that, because vertical gives you an 83 vertical, which is going to give you the Hall of Fame high flying denier, which we already mentioned. It also ties to posterizer and rise up, which are both totally fine already. And then it also gives you a Hall of Fame pogo stick. Now pogo stick is impossible to get legend on this build, just stock on the build, because your maximum vertical is 85, but having an 83 vertical gets you legend pogo stick, which is a massive attribute for big men build this year. Vertical of 83 is super good. We maxed out speed and agility just because on every big man build that I'm making this year, I'm trying to max the speed and agility to make sure that they can actually move around the court at a good clip. Now 85 strength is very solid as well. You only get silver strength badges, but you can also use cap breakers on this to get up if you do want to. I would recommend just keeping it at 85. You're going to have more than enough strength on this build to stop anyone from backing you down. 6'11 is a little bit short if you're playing against a 7'4, but those 7'4s should be getting patched soon. I'm kind of making all my builds based on that fact because there's no way they're going to be able to shoot over players the entire year. Mike Wayne's already looking into it. So now looking at everything here on the build, that is wrapping it up for all the attributes that we have discussed. I am going to go into the build. We're going to press start, see who we get as the comparisons. I haven't seen this yet. Hopefully it's going to be Anthony Davis. And oh my, 16-17 Anthony Davis is the second on the list. Let's go, man. We weren't really going for that version of Anthony Davis. We were definitely going for Lakers, but I don't know if they're even allowing the 2020 Lakers to be a possibility for you to get like a pass team. I believe the latest I've seen is like 18-19 Kawhi Leonard as a comparison. So 16-17 Anthony Davis is exactly what we were going for. Elite rim protector, clears defensive glass, catches low, finishes high, strong, imposing presence. That all lines up with Anthony Davis as well. Now, can't attack from the elbow, driving layups often don't go in. Those aren't really things that you're going to need to do on this build. Like, you're never going to be attacking from the elbow, and driving layups, you should never be taking a driving layup on a big man build anyway. It should either be a dunk or a standing dunk under the basket where you're not actually driving. So it's also called a physical backline lob threat, which is very solid. I do like that. You're going to be able to shoot too, which it doesn't mention in the build name, but if someone doesn't know about your attributes, you're going to be able to spark some threes from the corner, from the wing. You're going to have silver set shot specialist. If you do want to even use a max +2 on your set shot specialist, you can get it up to Hall of Fame, which is insane on this build. So we're going to advance, go into the rebirth section, and then we're just going to check on the cap breakers on this build. I'll tell you exactly what you need to use. This build isn't super insane for cap breakers. Like, some of my guard builds have been absolutely absurd with the cap breakers you can use and the attributes and stuff you can get from that. But looking at this build, the main thing I would recommend using cap breakers on is getting the block up 4 to get up to 97 block, to make sure you get that done first. You can also throw some on steal if you want to get up to silver interceptor and bronze glove. I wouldn't recommend that since it's not really worth it in my opinion to spend 3 full cap breakers on that. But if you have some cap breakers, make sure you spend all 4 of them on block. Just make sure to get that Hall of Fame paint patroller. It's a massive badge this year. You'll be able to stop people in the paint much easier. You can also throw 1 on vertical, just get it up to 85, which is definitely good value. Other than that, you can get your 3-pointer up to 80 by spending cap breakers here. If you wanted to make your build be able to dribble, you can actually spend cap breakers on playmaking here. So your speed with ball, if you add all the cap breakers up here, it's actually going to go up to 30. So you're going to get up to a 61 speed with ball, which actually unlocks some big man speed with ball caps. And then if you upgrade your ball handle from 41 up through here, you're actually going to be able to get up to 29, which is insane. 29 plus 41, just do the quick math here, 70 ball handle. So you're actually going to be able to get a 70 ball handle on this build if you fully maxed out the ball handle and speed with ball. You could be able to dribble on this build and actually make it a menace in like transition and stuff like that after grabbing the rebound. So yeah, looking at everything else, you can definitely upgrade your driving dunk a little bit more if you would like to do so. That would upgrade by a total of 13 on your driving dunk, so it could get you up to 89, which actually would get you the pro contact dunks off 2 and off 1. So 89 driving dunk isn't anything to scoff at there. And close shot, you can also upgrade to 90 if you really wanted to get some post hooks and stuff like that. So that is going to wrap it up for the build video here. We did get an Anthony Davis comparison, which I love to see. That's exactly what we were going for, and it's going to be a viable 2K build. You're going to be a menace in the paint, holding it down, getting rebounds, as well as being decent on offense with standing dunk upgraded, as well as the 3-pointer center, which will allow you to shoot from basically any spot on the 3-point line you're shooting from. So that is going to wrap it up for this video. I will drop the face scan afterwards in the end screen right here, so make sure you check that out. And I'm signing off for now. Catch you in the next one.